Katie Nagy and my trusty sidekick Monty, the cat, for another humane education lesson from the Montgomery County SPCA. We are continuing our neighborhood wildlife series with one of the world's most misunderstood creatures. I hope you enjoyed learning about backyard birds in our last video. Today we are going to focus on the bat. Many people are afraid of bats, but hopefully by the end of this video you will love them as much as I do. Bats are really awesome little friends. They are not the scary Halloween characters that you may see them as. Can you believe there are over 1,400 species of bats in the world? Hopefully you remember what a species is from our last few videos. Only 9 of those species live in Pennsylvania, and 3 of those migrate. That means they fly to warmer places in the south for the winter. The remaining 6 species stay close by and hibernate. Hibernation is when an animal sleeps all winter. When bats hibernate, they wake up for just short periods of time every few weeks. Bats are very active in the summer, but you usually won't see a bat during the day since they are nocturnal, which means they sleep during the day and are awake at night. One of the coolest things about bats is that they are the world's only flying mammal. A mammal is an animal that breathes air, has a backbone, grows hair or fur, and produces milk to feed its babies. There are some other mammals that glide, but the bat is the only one that really flies. Let's read a story about a little bat named Stella Luna. Stella Luna is written by Janelle Cannon and published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. In a warm and sultry forest far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit bat and her new baby. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. "I'll name you Stella Luna," she crooned. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stella Luna clutched to her breast as she flew out to search for food. One night, as Mother Bat followed the heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. On silent wings, the powerful bird swooped down upon the bats, dodging and shrieking. Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck again and again, knocking Stella Luna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp and useless as wet paper. Down, down she went, faster and faster into the forest below. The dark leafy tangle of branches caught Stella Luna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stella Luna's tiny feet. Wrapping her wings about her, she clutched the thin branch, trembling with cold and fear. "Mother," Stella Luna squeaked, "where are you?" By daybreak, the baby bat could hold on no longer. Down, down again she dropped. Plump! Stella Luna landed head first in a soft, downy nest, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Stella Luna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below it. She listened to the babble of 3 birds. "What was that?" cried Flap. "I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet," chirped Flitter. "Shh, here comes Mama," hissed Pip. Many, many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. Stella Luna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird brought. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Plop! In dropped a big green grasshopper. Stella Luna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all day and slept at night. She ate bugs even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing. Except for one thing. Stella Luna still liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Once, when Mama was away, the curious baby birds decided to try it too. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. "Eek!" she cried. "Get back here this instant. You're going to fall and break your necks." The birds clambered back into the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stella Luna. "You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest unless you promise to obey all the rules of this house." Stella Luna promised. She ate bugs without making faces, she slept in the nest at night, and she didn't hang by her feet. Stella Luna behaved as a good bird should. All the babies grew quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked. "I'm just like them," thought Stella Luna. "I can fly too." Pip, Flitter, and Flap landed gracefully on a branch. Stella Luna tried to do the same. How embarrassing. I will fly all day, Stella Luna told herself. Then no one will see how clumsy I am. The next day, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna went flying far from home. They flew for hours, exercising their new wings. The sun is setting, warned Flitter. We had better go home or we will get lost in the dark, said Flap. But Stella Luna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The three anxious birds went home without her. All alone, Stella Luna flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. I promised not to hang by my feet, Stella Luna sighed. So she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming near. Hey, a loud voice said, why are you hanging upside down? Stella Luna's eyes opened wide. She saw a most peculiar face. I'm not upside down, you are, Stella Luna said. Ah, but you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumbs, so that makes you upside down, the creature said. I'm a bat. I'm hanging by my feet. That makes me right side up. Stella Luna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. Wrong for a bird maybe, but not for a bat. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stella Luna told them her story. You ate bugs, stuttered one. You slept at night, gasped another. How very strange, they all murmured. Wait, let me look at this child. A bat pushed through the crowd. An owl attacked you? She asked. Sniffing Stella Luna's fur, she whispered, You are Stella Luna. You are my baby. You escaped the owl, cried Stella Luna. You survived? Yes, said Mother Bat as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. Come with me and I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. But it's nighttime, Stella Luna squeaked. We can't fly in the dark or we will crash into trees. We're bats, said Mother Bat. We can see in darkness. Come with us. Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stella Luna could see. She felt as though rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. Soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much of the fruit as she could hold. I'll never eat another bug as long as I live, cheered Stella Luna as she stuffed herself full. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. The next day, Stella Luna went to visit the birds. Come with me and meet my bat family, said Stella Luna. Okay, let's go, agreed Pip. They hang by their feet and they fly at night and they eat the best food in the world, Stella Luna explained to the birds on the way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stella Luna said excitedly. We will fly at night. When night came, Stella Luna flew away. Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Flap leapt from the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing, yelled Pip. Neither can I, howled Flitter. Ah, shrieked Flap. We're going to crash, gasped Stella Luna. I must rescue them. Stella Luna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to a tree, and the birds grasped a branch. Stella Luna hung from the limb above them. We're safe, said Stella Luna. Then she sighed. I wish you could see in the dark, too. We wish you could land on your feet, Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike, mused Flitter. And how can we feel so different and be so much alike, wondered Pip. I think it's quite a mystery, Flap chirped. I agree, said Stella Luna, but we're friends, and that's a fact. You may have noticed that Stella Luna is a fruit bat. The bats in Pennsylvania mostly eat insects, so they may have had a bit more in common with Stella Luna's bird friends. Stella Luna and the birds were very different from each other, but they all still loved and cared for each other. In the beginning of the story, the birds wanted Stella Luna to be like them, but by the end they realized how special her differences were. Do you have any friends who are very different from you? We should always treat them with love and care, And we should treat bats the same way, even though they are different from many of the animals we are used to. It's important that we treat everyone like they belong and not force them to try to fit in. Next up, we are going to play a true and false game with one of my friends who works here at the shelter. This is Officer Sharon.
Hi everyone.
She is one of our 3 Humane Society police officers. She rescues animals who are in danger or who are not being cared for properly. Let's see if we can stump her with some bat facts. I'm going to say some things about bats and she'll tell me if she thinks those things are true or false. Are you ready, Officer Sharon?
Sure am, Katie.
Bats can be found in every environment of the world.
False.
That's correct. They live in most places except the Arctic, Antarctic, and some islands. Bats make up 20% of all the species of mammals in the world.
True.
That is true. There are over 1,400 species of bats and about 6,500 species of mammals. Bats are related to birds.
True.
That's false. Bats are mammals, but birds are not. All bats have rabies.
False.
That's false. Bats are actually less likely to carry rabies than other mammals, but they are a rabies vector species, which means they can carry and pass on rabies without showing symptoms. Bats hang upside down when they sleep.
True.
True, and we just saw that in our story. They can't jump into the air to start flying like birds, so they have to drop from above to start their flight. Bats are very dirty animals.
False.
That is false. They spend a lot of time during their day grooming themselves, similar to how cats groom themselves. Bats are aggressive and will attack humans to try to suck their blood.
False.
That's false. There are only 3 species of bats who drink blood. These 3 species are called vampire bats. They actually don't even suck blood. They will lap it up from animals that they take a bite from. Bats are flying rodents.
True.
That is actually false. Bats are not at all related to rodents such as mice and rats. They are their own class of mammal. Thank you very much, Officer Sharon. You did a great job on our quiz. You got almost all of those correct.
Thanks, Katie.
You're welcome. As you can see, many of the things people believe about bats are not true. Just like birds, they are very helpful to humans. As we learned from the quiz, only 3 species of bats survive off of blood. Most bats eat fruit or insects. Insect-eating bats help control unwanted pests in your yard and garden and are absolutely necessary to helping farmers in Pennsylvania control crop-destroying bugs. Fruit-eating bats are very important pollinators for many different kinds of fruits. Pollinators fly from plant to plant and spread pollen, which causes more plants to grow. Without animals like fruit bats, we wouldn't have some of our favorite fruits like bananas and mangoes. Unfortunately, bat populations all over the eastern part of the United States, where we live, are very quickly decreasing. This is because of an invasive species of fungus brought from Europe that started growing in caves in New York about 12 years ago. You may remember we talked about invasive species in our lesson on turtles. Plants can be invasive also, and this fungus has been quickly spreading to caves all over from Florida to Canada, and has been killing the majority of the bats who hibernate in caves. This makes it even more important to help your neighborhood bats live long and healthy lives. Bats start waking up from hibernation and returning to our backyards around this time of year. You can buy a pre-made bat house at your local hardware store or build a bat house to help bats find a safe place to roost and have their babies. You can find directions on how to build and where to hang a bat house on the Nature Conservancy website. Bats only have 1 baby a year, unlike many other mammals who have several babies each year. A bat house can help a bat and its babies survive through the summer. Let's take a look at a quick video of Caleb showing us some bat boxes in his neighborhood.
Hey guys, it's me, Kayla. Those are some bat boxes that you can see up there. Bats are hibernating up there, and I'm wearing a bat jacket and a Batman. So we're going to be taking a hike, and we're going to look about bats. So the bats are hibernating right now, so we're not going to see bats, but we will see the bat boxes.
And what time of day do the bats stay in the boxes? At nighttime or daytime?
Morning time.
Because what are they doing at night?
They fly around and do stuff. I have not seen one at night.
Because they are what? What are they called?
Nocturnal.
Very good.
You can see out there, there's stock boxes, and my mommy's filming. Along our hike, we found more bat boxes over there, and they're behind our house.
So they're right in our neighborhood, right?
Yeah, definitely right in the neighborhood, because this part is behind our house. And we can see our house from here. We can also definitely see it from over there.
All right, pretty cool.
Yep.
Thanks so much for showing those to us, Caleb. Sometimes bats might decide your attic looks like a safe place to have their babies. If that happens, make sure to call a certified wildlife removal agency that specializes in safely and humanely removing the bats. It is illegal to kill a bat in Pennsylvania since their populations are so low, so you want to make sure you leave this to the professionals. And just like with any other type of wild animal, you can call a wildlife rehab center if you see an injured bat. Whether you find an injured bat outside or want to remove one from your home, remember, never touch it yourself. Lastly, if you ever see a bat out during the winter, you should call the PA Game Commission to report any bat. It's not normal for a bat to be out in the cold winter months, so the PA Game Commission can try to find out if the bat is suffering from illness caused by that invasive fungus. I will list the websites for the PA Game Commission and the Nature Conservancy at the end of this video, so you can learn more about helping bats, and also some wildlife rehab centers who can help an injured bat. Make sure to review all those key vocabulary words we learned that can help us understand more about bats. Do you remember those words? See you next time. Goodbye.
Be kind to animals, because animals are kind to you.